everyone, I hope you're having a good new year. We're gonna focus on heat right now. It is cold outside, so let's talk about that. Listen, it is cold in the Northeast. It definitely snowed, and if you saw the thumbnail, you know what we're here for. I didn't create it yet, so I have no idea, but we're gonna get into this. I have several ways of keeping myself warm in the van. Some require electricity, meaning like my solar system, and others that don't, because sometimes, especially during this time, this season, you don't get as much sunlight, so you can't get that much solar generated. It'll be depleted like that for things that are eating up that battery. I like to have things as a backup. Now, I did do a video on the Vespa heater. I'll put a picture in, and I'll make sure that I put it in the description so you guys can go see that. That's its own video, but I will do a demonstration real quick of what I do have. So at this point, let's get started, because we definitely need to warm up this van. Get down into the teens tonight. All right, let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna make some emergency candles. First things first, let's let you know what I got. I have, this is the Great Value brand, all-vegetable oil shortening. Then I also bought a little kit that I'll pour this into, to pour them into the containers. This was a whole set right here. Most of the stuff I got from Amazon, I'll put that in the description. I have two different size diameters of wicks. So there's this one, and then there's another one that's a little bit thicker. Now, I don't know if you can tell, this one is thinner. Right here, where my pinky is. This one's a little thicker, so we're using this. In this kit, it also comes with the stickies that you push down into here. So we'll go over that in a minute. I also have some of these that were left over. There's really nothing in there now. I did heat up what was left over to get the residue out. I will reuse these, because this is something that I'm going to keep in the van, but in the summertime I wouldn't recommend, especially these, just because that stuff will turn into liquid and it'll just be very sloshy. Okay, so here all I'm doing is melting down the residual oil that was left over from previous burns so that I can reuse it again, but I got to take out those little silver tabs at the bottom that holds the candles up, so that's what I'm doing now. I'm going to use a scent this time, so I have lavender and peppermint. So I'm going to do eeny, meeny, miny, mo, lavender it is. There you go. The first batch that I did not do a scent to those. I'm only going to put a little bit in because I'll be doing this in the van and I don't want it to be overwhelming, overpowering of a smell. I have an embarrassing amount of oil containers. Flaming pumpkin shots, you guys. I can't turn it. So I just can't seem to throw them out. I don't know how you guys are about that, but I always think I can use them for something. Like even for my husband's birthday, I just put the plastic silverware in one of these and set it on the table. I personally would also recommend you can save your jars from your spaghetti sauces and your Alfredo sauces and your marinara sauces, and if you have like, you know, like the ones in fruit, just any of those glass jars with those nice lids on there. I would definitely recommend those. But use at least 2 wicks. this is a quick moment to hit that subscribe, put your notifications on, and give a thumbs up to the channel because it does help. Thanks. I'm going to use 2 wicks. Burn hotter, but it'll also mean it'll burn faster. So I'm sticking these little sticky things in there to get my wicks to stay. Some people don't do those. I find I have more success with them staying in there. When you're putting that hot liquid in there, there's no guarantee it'll stay. So I kind of go like that, eye it up. Yep, this little guy, push it down. Okay, so that's what it is right there. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take you can either have metal ones. So this way when you're pouring that wax in there, these will stay where they need to be until, I'm sorry, it's not wax, it's oil, that's shortening. So that way that'll stay where it needs to stay when you pour it in there. So it has different diameters up here. But I also have sticks. Okay, so as luck would have it, I do not have enough sticks at the moment, so I'm just gonna have to be patient and wait for these to kind of harden a little bit, and then I'll remove them and continue. So this is still on. I just want to keep it nice and warm. Oop, I am making a mess. I think that's about good. This candle, the wicks, I cut this a little too short. It should be sticking out. So this way when this gets a little soft, these wicks, that they don't just like noodle down on you. And I also put a little wick in here because I'm going to reuse these. And that got hot real fast. Okay, so let's talk about those wick stems that I cut, and we are not throwing those out, not on your life. What I did was I bought some of those silver tabs that the wicks stand up in, and then I push it through. And then what I'm going to do is, because I don't have I like the crimper clamps, I'm going to take the scissors and I'm going to clamp that metal together. And then at this point, I've got another wick. So basically, you know, it's saving money by reusing those wicks, and I just kind of repeat the cycle when the candles burn low. Okay, so let's talk lids. Actually, I got them from Temu. I'm gonna see if they have them on Amazon. Maybe it might make a difference, I'm not sure. I purchased, I don't know, at this point, probably about 50 of them. I got blue ones, and they specifically are advertised for the Audiio yogurt. So they fit very well, nice. I mean, they fit nicely. The problem is, when it came to the blue ones, they all splintered like this. So that's, I would not recommend these. So I'm gonna give the white ones a go. I did purchase these. I haven't really used the white ones yet. I'm hoping maybe they are better, but I can't guarantee that. So I'm not gonna recommend these blue ones from Temu at all, even though they are specifically designed for the Audiio yogurt containers. I mean, it was just perfect. That's why I got that. I thought, oh boy, candles, I can contain it. Like, you can't get any better than that. So we're gonna see how the white ones work out. I'll keep you posted. But the blue ones, I can't even recommend these, just because you're gonna wind up having candles like this. For the unit that I'm gonna recommend that these fit. That's why I am so adamant about trying to use these, because I have that metal heating unit that I'm gonna show, and these are just the perfect fit, the perfect size. All right, so let's talk about it. This right here, this is it's my metal equivalent to a terracotta heater. And if you don't know what a terracotta heater is, it's where the air gets trapped up underneath and radiates heat out. There's 101 videos on YouTube on how to make terracotta heaters. But because of van life and terracotta is fragile, I would not be able to get longevity out of that because for me, it probably wouldn't last long. This is my low wattage heater that I use in the event of that I need a little bit of extra heat going on. I also have the Vista heater. This is the one that works with Sterno cans. And then you can also cook on it when you take it off. It has a fan in the back. Again, I did a whole video on that. I'll put it in the description. I also have low wattage, 12 volt heated blanket that I lay on the bottom. Because if you don't know, when it's cold out, all of these memory foam beds, these mattresses, they get rock hard. So it's like sleeping on stone. You know, you got to be able to warm that up. If it gets too cold, it's absolutely terrible when you first lay on it. So I always use that. That's what I pretty much use for heat. Again, we're in the van, so we can always turn the van on just to get that extra residual heat going in the beginning. I normally use about 3 underneath there. Now this one, I used these like all night one night, and you can see there's still about half left. So I'm definitely gonna say 12 to 14 hours, depending on how many wicks you have in there. I have 2 wicks per. That means it's gonna generate a little bit more heat, and it's gonna go up into this dome, and there's a metal plate underneath here. And then it just kind of keeps the heat in. I also bought these tiles from Lowe's. They're just ceramic tiles. I have 2 here. With the Vespa heater, I will put that on a table. There's no way I could keep that up here. That would just melt. It would do some serious damage. So therefore, I don't keep that up there. I have a table I put that on. This one does have one of those little buttons that it will shut off if it's turned off, and considering I travel with animals, that's a good idea to have that feature. And like I said, these are pretty cheap. I think I got this for maybe like $2-3 for one of them. And I will just pull this up away from everything, and I kind of keep it up here. And that's how it works. These I have to turn sideways to get out. So what I'll do is I'll instantly light them, and then I stick them in here and I turn it like this. Technically I could get 4 in here, but I think it would be harder for me to get out. I've actually never done 4. Also, it's a good idea to have a carbon monoxide detector in your van anytime you're burning anything or have any gas or propane, things like that. And you can also, also I would definitely recommend cracking a window. Safety first. So I guess my question is, what are you using to heat your vehicles during cold weather? And there you go. And I hope you get something out of this, because whether you live in a van or if you live in a house, I don't think it really matters to have that reserve heat, regardless of where you are. I think it's a good thing. I'm definitely going to say people from Texas, remember years back, they didn't have anything. I think everyone should have some sort of emergency heat. And this way you'll be prepared just in case. It's not going to hurt anything, and it doesn't cost very much. Things are tough all over, so if I don't have to spend a lot of extra money, I'm not going to. I will utilize what I have. So how many candles did I get out of that 3-pound tub of vegetable shortening? Well, I got 10 oil containers out of that, and I got 4 of those mini metal cans. Oh, and by the way, I manually blow these out because there'll be liquid on the top. You do not want to tilt them to take them out. So I just go like this. That's pretty much it. Ta-da!